These two Grey Fergie tractors are going on a massive road trip to raise money for Cancer Research Wales. They're going to drive the length of Wales on two entirely separate routes. They've been beautifully restored by members of the Cardi Cranks club here in Ceredigion, and we're going to drive one of them today and find out a bit more about them and how one of them was just a box of bits a year ago. So to find out more about these tractors and their endeavours, I'm with Jill, who is kind of the coordinator of some of the plans to go driving all over Wales. So how did this come about?
Well, that's quite a story. Originally, we'd spotted Sîan tractor in with her bum stuck out of an open shed, and we went and knocked on the door and spoke to a very elderly couple and asked them if they would consider selling us the tractor. They agreed, we agreed a price, and so we announced to the club that we had this plan. And when we made that announcement, one of the club members put his hand up and said, well, I've got one and you can have it for free.
Oh, there you are, sod's law.
Being Cardis, we went for the cheapest option.
Yeah.
And started planning to drive one tractor throughout Wales. Then I had a phone call from the lady that we'd bought this one from, and I just felt awful. She wanted to know, when are you coming for the tractor? So I had a talk with John Lewis, who's the chair, and we agreed we'd do two tractors.
Why not? Double the fun.
Yeah, so the plan is now that the team, who are a team of Cardi Cranks volunteers, have restored two. They were very dilapidated, but they are now...
We'll show you the pics.
They're very beautiful tractors.
In fact, we've still got some of the original panels from this one as well.
But most of it is original. We have replaced, we've put a new bonnet and new wings on, and our plan is to auction these off at some point, and then the original panels will go back on, and then the tractors will go for display. But the overall plan is that we're going to drive from Caernarfon Castle down to Cardiff Castle.
What's that, about 250 miles?
Each one will do about 250 miles, and they're taking different routes. So
we'll show you on the map.
Sîan tractor is coming down through the heart of Wales, and Sîan tractor is coming down the coast,
which is just over there, just a few miles that way.
But we both leave from Caernarfon Castle on the 21st of June. We meet again down in St Fagans and on the 27th of June, and then on the 28th of June we're booked in to drive into Cardiff Castle at 11 a.m.
Right, so there's the time pressure.
And it's going to be a pretty busy day because I understand Metallica are playing that day, and there's also
do Metallica like tractors? We may have to ask them.
And there's a car show on down there on that day as well, so it's going to be a pretty busy day in Cardiff. But we will be there with Sean and Sîan.
Yeah, and let's hope the weather is like this. So for all the details of this trip, look for the link in the description below, and we'll have the Just Giving link as well. It's already over £13,000.
We're just nearing 20,000.
Oh my gosh, that's gone up.
We've got some great people backing us. With Gwilly Jones and Evans Brothers have sponsored the tractors.
A tractor each.
And we've got a big fundraiser this weekend down at the Moody Cow, where we've got a couple of celebrity rugby players and an auction going on. And we're starting to see it really take off now, and people are getting behind us.
Well, it's getting close now.
And every penny that we make will be going to Cancer Research Wales.
Hence the colours of the grill. This is the different colours of the different cancers.
Yeah, each colour relates to a different cancer. And it's the logo for Cancer Research Wales. We chose Cancer Research Wales because it means that every penny goes to them and will be supporting people of Wales who are living with this horrific disease. And it means that they will get access to therapies and treatments. We went down as a team to visit and met with the scientists and doctors. They're doing some amazing work.
Yeah, it's incredible what's going on.
And the money we raise will be going, we've got an arrangement with them that the money will be for a specific project, so we'll be able to say that we have supported and helped people with a particular kind of cancer at the end. So we'll be putting our name to that, and every penny that we raise will be going to that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And just before we move on, it's worth remembering that this still looked completely dilapidated and was in bits a year ago. So the club members have worked so hard to bring these around.
It's been incredible. You know, a lot of our members are retired, and it's been lovely. They've come here to the garage, and I fed them cake and tea. And
Winning combination.
and they've used their skills and their creativity. So we had a plumber, and he did the pipe work, and we had an electrician.
Lovely.
And it's been really lovely, and it's brought them together. And I think that's what this club is all about. Cardi Cranks is about bringing people together, forging good relationships and friendships, but also about giving to our local community.
Which is something you already do because you're involved with the training college as well. So the next generation you're getting involved.
Every year we run the show in Caernarfon.
Aberairon Vintage Show, well worth checking out. It is superb.
9th of August this year, we're doing it on a Sunday, 9th of August. And Sîan and Sîan will be there. And the money that we raise from the show, we invest locally. So last year's show, we sponsored 7 trainee mechanics at
Mm-hmm.
Ceredigion training, which was really nice. We've bought them a full toolkit and work clothes and boots.
It all adds up.
It does.
Very
it
expensive.
does. These young people, often from challenging backgrounds, they need that little extra bit of help.
Stepping stone.
And it's about investing in young people and saying they're worth it. We can see their potential, and we plan to have that as a rolling programme. So each year we're going to build on that and invest more in the young people. And of course, they're going to come to the show now.
Indeed.
And they're going to have a stall there, so look out for them at the show. It's all a win-win.
Brilliant. Well, we should now find out more about the mechanical makeup of these tractors, and then we're going to go for a drive. So we better get into the history of these Grey Fergies, because normally it would be entirely grey, and that's exactly how they were. But weirdly, despite Harry Ferguson being a Brit, the first of these tractors was actually made in America, the Ford Ferguson. He had a meeting with Henry Ford himself in 1938 and agreed to make those tractors in America, some of which were imported over here. After the Second World War, the agreement had been that Ford England would make the tractors, but Ford England said, well, no, we haven't really got the capacity for that. Standard Motor Company in Coventry did. They had a shadow factory that was building munitions and aeroplanes during the Second World War, and it was now standing empty. Absolutely perfect. So it was a completely different engine fitted. Standard designed a new engine for this tractor, which also went into the standard motor cars and even some sporty Triumphs. So here we go then, the mechanical makeup of the Grey Fergie Tractor. They were in production from 1946 until 1956, but like I say, American production began in 1939 with a Continental engine, and you'll note the engine is a stressed member. There's the engine, here's your gearbox, and there's your final drive. There is no separate chassis. That is all part of what made these so special and ultimately so simple. But the engine, developed by Standard, wet liner design, and 2088 cc, which is exactly the same as the engine used in the Standard Vanguard, but these obviously modified for tractor use. It's a much lower compression, about 4.5 to 1, because as well as petrol, that's this little tank here, it's mainly designed to run on TVO, tractor vaporizing oil. So the very first Fergies were pure petrol and a slightly smaller engine. They upped the capacity because TVO, you don't get so much power. So you need a bit more capacity to give you enough power to turn these enormous wheels. But yeah, a hugely dependable engine, absolutely great. We've driven Standard Vanguards in the past, also used in the Triumph TR2, 3 and 4 and 4A, later replaced by the big 6-cylinder engine. But yeah, a very, very hardy unit, and should have no problems with this trip. So you've got the fan belt on the front, so you're permanently driving a fan, and yeah, this is your mixer. So if I turn it to there, that's turn the petrol on. Turn it to there, that's the TVO, but you can't turn, that's off. You can't turn the TVO on until the engine's warmed up. It's called vaporizing oil because when it's hot, it will vaporize. It won't when it's cold. But we'll just quickly go through the controls while we're here. That's the clutch, and if you press that, you're operating it straight on the bell housing. That is direct for you. And then we've got independent rear brakes. So to do tight turns, because there's no limited slip differential, you can lock the inside wheel or slow it down so the power goes to the outside wheel to keep you moving. There is a general brake pedal over here, which I'll show you now, is also your handbrake, your parking brake. So handbrake, not really the right term. So when you push it down, you can lock it like that, and that's now locked. That won't go anywhere. And then just press down and release. The brakes are released. We're up against the curb. She's not going anywhere. We're fine. And then you've got the steering box down here, 4-speed gearbox, 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse and start. So you actually start it by moving the lever forward, which means you can't start it in gear. So if you're stood here next to the wheel, you can't accidentally run over yourself, because it'll definitely not be in gear when you start the engine. And then the throttle is this device here. So you move that down to let more fuel in. So it's all very simple, but very, very effective. The suspension is this sprung curve, and the seat can therefore bounce a bit. This is a control for the free link rear end. And this is something that was patented by Harry Ferguson and is still widespread use today. So we've got hydraulics to raise and lower the back. You can put all manner of implements on the back of it. It's really, really clever stuff. Another thing that's impressive is they made about 1 million of these, including the American Ford Fergusons. So it's an astonishing number. About 500,000 of the standards were produced in 10 years. It was just a huge part of replacing previously handheld or horse-drawn implements, and became a hugely important bit of kit, whether it was on your small holding or you actually were a fairly large-scale farmer. And of course they were exported all over the world, off to Australia, New Zealand, absolutely everywhere. There's one more trick too, and that's this bit down here, which is a powered takeoff. So you can connect implements to it, and it not only will pull them along, it will power them as well. Not just that, you could statically power your machinery on the farm as well. So you just set the throttle and the governor will keep the engine at the same rev position regardless of the load. So as you're turning the machinery on and off, this will keep at a consistent rate. Just made them hugely important for operating machinery, pumps, whatever. It really became the little vehicle that could do almost anything. I think that's enough waffle. Shall we actually start up the beast and get down the road? So your starting process, I've just turned on the fuel. I can just reach that down there. We've got an actual ignition key down there. And then, like I say, you get the gear lever. You just got to find the sweet spot. And away she goes. It's that simple. Starts absolutely beautifully. And then listen to that tick over. It'll tick over as low as 400 RPM. Absolutely incredible. Right, let's get you in a mount. We should go for a drive. What it won't do at lower RPM is charge the battery. So that's our battery warning. As we bring the revs up, now we're charging, but water temperature still to come up. And there's our oil pressure, plenty of it. All good stuff. So once this gets up to about here, then you can switch it over to the vaporizing oil. But then you've got to switch it back to petrol, clear out all the TVO before you turn the engine off, so it's ready for next time. Find the gear. That's either forward or backwards. One press on that just to make sure the handbrake's released. Oh, responsive. That's reverse. There we go. We'll find out which gear.
That might be top.
Yeah, that sounds like top. There we go. Get it clear. Whoa! teams have got to do this for 250 miles. Visibility, absolutely excellent. Just little nudges of the throttle to keep our speed where we want it to be. It's going to take them a week to get from Caernarfon to Cardiff. Wow. The only suspension is the seat and the big fat tyres. Oh, this is the life. Exhaust is just there, so it's quite loud. Let's hope it isn't raining in June, so you don't have to go through the gears. You just start off in whichever gear you want. Obviously first is the lowest. Have to look behind, there's no mirror, so no idea what's going on behind me. Brilliant. Oh, and just listen to that. So happy. Ah, this is the only way to travel around the Welsh countryside. There is no suspension other than the seat is sprung and you got the big fat tyres, that's it. Oh. We haven't got to worry about the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. Maybe we'll demonstrate the turning circle in first rather than in top gear. So round we go, full lock. Look at that, that is first gear, very slow. And that's fourth. So responsive. So the wheels are just there, so make sure you don't put your hand out. To the front wheels down there, the exhaust right up in our faces. Oil pressure looking good. So yeah, not quite the experience I expected, to be honest. Driving a tractor around Wales, it just feels like the thing to do. And then you've got to turn her back to petrol, make sure we get TVO flushed out the system, and it's back on petrol again. Listen to that ticking over. Absolutely lovely. So a huge thank you to the Cardi Cranks and good luck for their run. Well, it has been a fascinating day. I've had a lot of fun. So do go and support what the Cardi Cranks are doing, because it's extraordinary. They're going to have to cover so many miles every single day. So there will be a link to the Just Giving in the description below. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and hoile bow! Down on the throttle and foam. Yeah, that's the problem. I just ran over my phone.